well, we're playing four-handed, so position didn't matter as much. But my tips were always play hands in position, and whenever your check 2 and a scare card has come, just bet pot. And you'll just bluff a lot of these players off hands that beat you.
Raise.
Well, you said it earlier. I mean, you said, there are so many draws out there in PLO, and it's the good players can decipher which draws their opponents actually have, but the best players can represent those.
25.
And it puts you in a really tough spot if your opponent is going to bet pot. Is there any reason to put out stopper bets then? Blocker bets on the river? If let's say I'm playing against somebody who I know can use a card and try to and bet pot. What ends up I on the river? I bet I put 40% out there, 30% pot.
Yeah, the reason for that would be, hey, I'm afraid of seeing a pot bet here, so I'm gonna make my hand look value and.
That's what I guess that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Is there any value to that? Interesting flop here. Jack 10-7, 2 spades out there. We've got middle set for Bart. Bart also has some straight draw possibilities as well. Will has got an overpair to go along with a flush draw.
And Neil with a nut flush draw and ace-jack.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it is an interesting flop for 3 players, Neil, Will, and Bart, all with pretty significant pieces.
So it was check to Bart. Bart bet $80.
I've often thought Bart was a bot.
Actually, the first time I met him, I thought his name was Bort.
Bort?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Let's call him Bort. I like that.
We're playing
Well, Bart has bet 80, so he is not quite bet the pot.
Yeah, I like his bet size. You don't always have to bet pot in PLO.
Well, how do you play it if you're Neil? You got top, which you probably don't think is good, obviously, but you've got the nut flush draw. Are you calling this? You're not shoving, are you?
No, you aren't shoving. I think
how do you
calling's
play
fine.
And how do you play it if you're Will? Because if you're Will here...
Will has announced pot.
Well, because Will's got a straight draw, a flush draw with an overpair.
Yeah, I think heads up, you repot it.
Mid 400s.
And Will's just going to... And the great thing is, can Will ever get Bart to fold?
He can't get Bart to fold.
No, middle set?
No, because Bart's getting 2-1 to the pot, and Bart's never a 2-1 dog here.
Okay.
I mean, not never. He can be if Neil had a straight with some.
Bart, by the way, Bart also has a straight draw.
Yeah, if Neil had like Jack 8-9, yeah, then Bart's crushed.
Well, it's less likely that it's less likely that his opponent would have Jack because Bart has a Jack in his hand.
Exactly, with card elimination.
And Bart's going to repot, effectively puts himself all in. That should get rid of Neil.
No, it actually.
No, he's getting 2-1. You're right.
Actually, Neil is getting a great price at the nut flush draw.
Yeah, good point.
Say call.
So Neil is in there as well, and this is one of those where we'll see the equities. Bart is the favorite at 48%, but he's an underdog against the field.
Yeah, but you're getting 2-1 on your money.
No, you're loving it, obviously. Well, there's the nut flush.
They need to pair the board.
And it does not pair. And baba boom. Well, and Bart knows that. I mean, when the spade comes off, Bart knows he's beat.
Well, he was actually beat by both players.
Yeah.
But when Neil calls, Will's hand just shrinks in value. He's drawing to a 9 or a queen. So Will tried to make a play.
And hey, unfortunately for him, he walked into a set and the nut flush draw. But Will's play, I mean, with an overpair, with a straight draw, with a flush draw, if he can get rid of, it's not a bad play, is it? Or is it a little spewy?
Yeah, I think in this spot it was a bad play. With some hand reading, you can say, hey, what is my opponent check calling out of position with? And I think the nut flush draw or other sets are in that range a lot.
Right.
And a hand that's not going to be folding when.
And I guess, at the same time, your opponent could easily have 8-9 right now.
Yeah, he could be calling with 8-9 without a queen in his hand and hoping to ship it on a.
If somebody has 8-9 in the flop, so they have the nuts right there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine in a small buy-in game you're getting 8-9 to fold.
No.